Hey everyone, Mr. Happy here, and welcome back to another Opera Omnia video. In this one, I'm going to be answering a question I've been getting a lot lately, and it's how do I level my characters? Now, because the game doesn't run on a stamina system for most of the content, you can spam story mode missions to gain crystals, some items if you want to do some upgrading, or experience points. However, I've had a lot of people saying, I don't really know where to level. So, Haps, could you tell me how? I'm going to be doing that this video. I've also included a text guide. It was one that was sent to me very early on when I was first getting started with Opera Omnia just about 2 weeks ago. And I've been following that and picking and choosing, depending on what my party composition is and what level my characters are, what I want to do with that as well. I also have 1 or 2 additional locations I want to add that aren't on the text document below. So just watch the video and you'll get that information. We're going to be doing this one take. I'm just recording it with my screen right in front of me right here. And this is not a sponsored video. I'm going to be saying that for a few of the Opera Omnia videos for a while because Square Enix sponsored a bunch of them. And I still have 1 more sponsored video I'm going to be doing for that as well with the update that's coming this Sunday. So this one's not sponsored though. I'm just doing this in addition to the Opera Omnia content I was doing for Square Enix as well. So let's take a look at what we're going to be doing here. So we're going to be primarily showing where you want to use spammable story missions. I'm going to back out of that one because I'm going to be coming back to that one a little bit later. Obviously, if you have stamina, the World of Illusion is a great place to spend it. Anytime you have enough stamina to do a mission, in fact, I'm about to have enough stamina to do a mission here, you want to go in there and do whatever it is you need. If you want to find a mission that's worth a high amount of experience points and do that, feel free. I like to use the World of Illusion for upgrade materials, crystals, things like that, which is exactly what the current one is available for with Carbuncle's Treasures. But just make sure you're spending your stamina there while you're leveling up your characters every time you rank up. Head in there, it's more EXP, and it's a better use of your time, as opposed to constantly ranking up and not using your stamina recharges. Also, it's worth considering that whenever events come by, specifically, in this case, you have Setzer's Castle in the Sky, and we're going to be having Balthier's event soon, that around the level 30 or 40 mission is sometimes an okay option, but it depends on the difficulty of the boss that's actually in that. So I know some people do that as well. They go into like the level 30 mission for Castles in the Sky. I'm personally not a big fan of it. I think that the story missions that I'm going to be showing here have yielded better results for me personally, but just know it's an option. And of course, when you want to level a character and you're going through the daily cycle quests, be sure to use that as well. Especially with the cycle quests being double rewards right now for the crystals. It's a great place to take a low-level character in with a high carry team and get them a bunch of levels while also getting some crystals for the day. So let's get started with the first one that I was introduced to, and this is mission 1-2 on hard mode. And apologies if Los Angeles outside is making a little bit too much noise. Now, most of these are going to be done through hard mode. In fact, I think all of them we're going to be doing here are through hard mode, and that's just because hard mode scales up the enemies, so it's going to scale up the amount of experience points you get, and likely get you a little bit better drops as well. So 1-2 on hard mode is this one right here. Now, I am not a huge fan of this one in particular, even if you have really low-level characters. It's a pretty quick battle to do, and it's just against 2 waves of goblins. But you'll see right here, and we're going to actually play through each of them really quick. I'm just going to auto-battle through all of them, just so you can get an idea of what you're up against. So you'll see here, it's 2 level 26 goblins. This is a really easy place to power level really low-level characters, because the goblins themselves aren't too threatening, and if you bring 1 carry character even, which you sometimes don't even need, you can blow through these in no time. It's just that first wave of 2 goblins, and now the second wave of 3 goblins right here. My king, as you can tell, is not very well off, as he, even at level, I think he's 29 right now, is still not powerful enough to actually land a break on these things from their initial bravery values, but it is what it is. There you go. Victory. Speed through this real quick. And sorry if I'm looking down and not at the camera. I'm not playing on an emulator. I'm playing on a tablet. And so I'm looking down at the tablet. So you go 130 EXP for that. Not a lot, but for the first few levels, it's something that can work. I really don't like going here after maybe level 10. And honestly, I mostly skip that power leveling location. So next we're going to go on into Chapter 2, into the Ruins of... Excuse me. I swallowed saliva or something right there. The Ruins of Desertion. We're going to go to 212, which I believe is this mission right here. Yep. Now, this one has some stronger enemies. Generally, ones with mannequins are if you want to additionally farm crystals as well. Now, when I say farm crystals, you get like maybe 1 or 2 most of the time, but if you want to be spamming something with auto battle and getting crystals to upgrade your characters at the same time, then missions with mannequins are usually pretty good choices. So I'm going to again just let them auto battle through this one real quick. Again, it's also on hard mode. I hope I had this on hard mode. I actually don't know if I had it on hard mode. I'll find out real quick. Yeah, he wouldn't have survived that if it was... He wouldn't have even survived the first hit if it was normal mode. This one's 3 battles. It's the mannequins in the first wave, regular goblins, which no problem here in the second wave, and then we'll go back to mannequins for the last wave as well. Yeah, I'd say about half of these have mannequins, and the other half are quick battles or just don't have threatening enemies overall. So this one can get a little bit weird. Auto battling against mannequins is generally more dangerous than auto battling against standard enemies. Because they'll have the abilities that the characters have. For example, you can see that Cecil here has Darkness to hit the whole party, Warrior of Light's going to have Shining Shield to prevent bravery damage. So sometimes manually controlling these is a little bit better. In fact, it's almost always better. But we're looking for the laziest way possible to do these levels. So I'm going to let it finish up here. And of course, auto battling a lot of the times. Your party members aren't so smart when it comes to auto battling. They can only use the basic attack or HP attacks. They can't use their special abilities, which removes a lot of the unique advantages to having the certain characters. So generally characters that can break opponents very easily, and in case there's any enemies that are resistant to a specific type of damage, you want to make sure you at least have one, at least somewhat decent character that is, and you can see I got 1 crystal here, King's level 29, and it's much better EXP. Yeah, so you generally want to make sure, for example, I have Shantoto in case an enemy I run across has physical resistance, so she'll take care of it with the magic attack. They're not smart, though, so occasionally, even if you think auto-battling is working every time, when it comes to mannequins, don't be surprised if sometimes you look down and you realize that your party is wiped, especially if you're not bringing carry characters. That's kind of why I've just been leveling them 1 at a time. I was doing it at first where I had like 3 or 4 characters that all had like some of the leftover 5 stars that my main crew tends to use. And I would do missions like this, and it'd be 50-50 because they wouldn't have a lot of crystal levels under their belt. They wouldn't have a lot of normal levels under their belt. And sometimes it just didn't go the way I wanted it to go at all. But that one you could see was worth 254 XP. There was 1 crystal, but it's still better than getting no crystals because, I mean, crystals are great in this game. Now, we also have Chapter 2. We have the Ominous Ruins. I think it's this one. No, we want this one right here. So this is probably the easiest one to just grind over a period of time. And let me make sure my audio is working because I always get nervous. I don't like wearing my headset for these kind of things, but I like to check in the middle of the video. Okay, so this one, there's no bosses, there's nothing special, there's no crystals. This is just an easy auto battler. It's 3 waves, so it's worth a decent amount of experience points, just slightly more than the last mission that we did. But the enemy types are also really forgiving. Goblins and bombs, super simple. The bombs, even if you get kind of like bad RNG with your auto battling, at the very worst, the bomb blows itself up. There's a few bombs, and so you do have to have the concern of if they get bravery capped and 3 of them blow up, but the odds of that happening with auto battle are pretty low. So they're going to finish them off right here. Bravery break, whatever, just going to destroy them. And then he's going to go, and he's already max bravery, but still doing that, because that's just the way it works. That's wave number 2. Super simple. This one's a good one to do if you want to have like super low risk. Even with the bombs, the odds of you actually dying to this one in auto battle are considerably lower. And you know what I said? I keep looking down, even though I'm recording it and I could just be looking at OBS. I guess I need to look down to make sure I'm pressing the right thing, but that's about it. So yeah, this one's going to be gone after this and one more, I think. Needs one more. There we go. Alright, quest cleared. That's another one, although now I can't see the other thing. Alright. Also, to make sure that if these are your first time clearing these kind of things, that you actually do the actual mission first, like meet all the quest objectives and whatnot. This one worth just slightly more than the last one, but with less risk and no crystal rewards. And that's going to be the last one for Chapter 2. Now, there are okay places in Chapters 3 and 4, but honestly, what I've been doing, what I was recommended to do, was to immediately go to Chapter 5. Now, this was before Chapter 6 existed, but these are just some other locations that you can use. I think it's this one. Yes, so 5-5, this is another one with mannequins. It's Yang, Yuna, and Vivi, which isn't a super threatening set of mannequins. And again, the amount of EXP here from being a much, much higher level these enemies being a much higher level and not really being that much more difficult starts to be a payoff. This one's worth 416 experience points, and again, you'll see, we'll just auto battle through it. I kind of want to manually battle through it just to get through it a little faster, but I want you to see what the auto battle itself actually can look like, especially because that's how I've been doing the leveling for the most part, is through auto battling. So if anything bad is to happen, I kind of want you to see what the scenario looks like. Luckily, if you are at least somewhat paying attention to your device and you see that something's going a little bit south, because these auto battles tend to take a lot longer than when you actually are controlling it, at least on average. Sometimes you have your summon up by the third wave, which is something that doesn't happen when you take manual control, just because you don't let the fight go on that long. So if you see something's going south in some of these longer fights, especially with the mannequins, you can actually just step in and at least throw the summon down before throwing the auto battle back on. Sometimes it's a little late, but most of the time it ends up being okay. So yeah, you can see, like, that's, you know, she's got like 4,500 HP, so, you know, sometimes you don't kill them in one, and that leaves a lot of opportunity to have bad things. But you can see my summon's almost ready. So if I want to step in and just get this done a little bit faster, especially because I can see that... Oh, well, now I don't have to. Especially because I was going to say, now I can see that, you know, he has somebody in, like, a lethal range, but he died anyway. I could have just summoned, got a bunch of bravery, fixed it. I mean, that's just one way to, I guess, interact with it, in case you want to mitigate a little bit of the issues with auto-battling. But he should be dead here after Zidane's turn. Yeah, okay. So that's another one. That's 416 experience points. You do get a little bit of gil for this, but you're really not in it for the gil. You're in it for, I guess, the occasional 2-star item that you'll get there, and any crystals. You can get crystals from that one. I didn't that time, but it's whatever. Now, one that was recommended, this was actually the first one that was recommended to me, because I had some characters at 50. I don't like this one. This is a 5'9". The last one was 5'5". And so this one has Warrior of Light, Vaughn, and Terra. That's a pretty terrifying combination to have to auto battle against. So this, when I was doing this one, this was where I started intervening with my summon, just because I had low trust. Sorry, I forgot to press auto. Luckily, bats are super easy. If they get a first turn, it can be a little annoying, but that's about it. All right, he's gonna fire. I don't really care. It's only that third wave. This is the second wave? Yeah, the first two waves are really easy, at least. And this one's only worth slightly more than the last one. It's worth, I think, yeah, it's worth 4 more experience. It has a slightly better drop rate on shards, but... This is definitely one that's low on my personal list. I wouldn't spend the time doing this one. I'll just show you, though. I'm already here. Might as well. Alright. I really wish that at least they would use HP attacks during a chase like that. Alright. And there you go, Vaughn, Warrior of Light, Terra. So, if I need to, I'll intervene. We'll see. Depends on how annoying Vaughn and Terra really want to be. It's mostly, the thing that I always fear the most here is that I'm bringing a character who's not nearly as prepared for a team like this as the rest of my party is. And it leads to situations where, you know, I look and I go, he's just going to cause a break, and then they all have a ton of bravery. That's when I step in like this, and then I put it back on auto battle, and then they'll take care of the rest. The bravery boost plus the breaks and everything, it pretty much just guarantees that it's over. It's not as AFK as the other ones, but will work. Now, Chapter 6 released recently, and that has opened up some possibilities as well. You can see I got a black crystal right there and a 2-star axe. For those items, that's a whole nother story. Now, again, there are some quick battles in there, and there are other boss waves that you can choose to farm, ones that just have mannequins, but we're going to head right into the Dominant Wastelands, where there's 2 locations I like to go to. Now, the first one, and the one that I've been enjoying the most, is this one right here. This is 616 Northern Cave Part 2. This one has mannequins, but it just isn't as threatening. I do like bringing a magic user, though, because there are some ghosts in this one, and the character I tend to power level does die here fairly often. But I've had some pretty decent luck with this one. I think it's like 470-something experience points, somewhere in that range, and I usually get 2 or 3 shards. There are a few annoying things about this one, and why this one's probably not that fantastic, even though it's been one that I've used a lot. One you're going to see right here is he's going to die. Like, this happens maybe 50% of the time I lose the character that I'm actually power leveling. And this one I found that if I'm going to do this one, I absolutely need carry characters. This isn't one where I can bring 3 characters that all are in equal need of leveling. Because there's things like Blinding Strike, which are incredibly annoying in this first wave and in the second wave. And then I end up only having 2 characters for the rest. So this is pretty much the worst case scenario you're seeing right here. Although this second wave's not so bad if you actually have a magic user. If you don't have a magic user, this wave sucks. Because the ghost is going to dark run, it's going to resist constantly, and it's going to take forever. The Shadodo, you can see, it went pretty quick right here. Alright, Tifa, Yuffie, Cloud. So it's a Final Fantasy VII wave, and it's not too bad. Honestly, Cross Slash from Cloud is probably the worst thing. Beat Rush can be bad if it hits the person who you're carrying, if they're still alive at this point. But it's been worse. You can see they also only have about like 2k HP each, which is really, easy to deal with. You can see there you go. So they only have like 2,000 HP, which you remember you saw the other one where they had like 4,000 HP, and it was like missions ago, and it's not worth as much as this one is because they're not as high a level. So even with auto battling, that went pretty quick. I got a 2-star. Didn't get any crystals this time. Another thing that's nice about this exact mission is you get an upgrade material, I'd say about 30% of the time, for Chocobo. And I'll actually go to my summon screen and show which one it is instead of farming it real quick. But that's one of my favorites, just because it not only is good chance for crystals, 2-star armor, it also has the upgrade materials for Chocobo, and is worth, as you saw on the screen, a decent chunk of experience points. Editing this in real quick, because I said I was going to show which item dropped, and I never did for the summon. This item right here, the Escape Anima, this is the one that drops out of that mission in Chapter 6 that I kept mentioning something extra dropped for, so just wanted to show that in. Let's get back to the video. The other one is 611. This is the one that was recommended to me. It's a quick encounter, like just 2 battles. It's this one real quick. It's just 2 waves, really easy enemy type. This is probably the safest one for you to spam that's in Chapter 6. But I'm not a huge fan of it. This one gives only 280 experience points, but it basically replaces kind of the one that I showed you in Chapter 2, the Ominous Shrine Ruins Part 2, which was the last one I showed you in Chapter 2. Eventually, you would replace that with this, because this is pretty much the same thing where that was just goblins and bombs, this is just goblins and dogs. And despite being in their level 50s, they pose almost no threat, realistically. We'll see here in a second. Of course, this is making it taking longer because they still haven't decided to use their HP attacks yet, but what are you going to do, right? Okay, on to the next one. There you go. And it's only 2 waves. It's not even 3 waves, so it's pretty good. For only 2 waves, it's incredibly valuable. You'll see he's dead, and then, oh no, he's going to break him. Oh no, and then he's dead instantly. Goes super fast. 280 EXP for that one. I don't think you can get crystals from this one since there's no mannequins. Let's see. No, but you do get some other items. You get Gale Adamatite, which is another upgrade material. And even from just showing you that, I almost went from 29 to 30. Now, obviously, you're looking at those EXP gains and going, it's going to take me forever to get 50 doing that. Which is why I tend to not sit here and focus on playing Opera Omnia. In fact, I'll show you what my setup looks like real quick on the live stream. So this is, obviously, there's a bit of a black screen you can see here. And there's that right down there, which I might as well turn off right now. But you can see that I just have Opera Omnia in the bottom right, and I'll throw it on auto battle, and where the black screen is would generally be like where Final Fantasy XIV is, or some other game where I'm using this. I can do the same thing using pretty much anything else, since I plug in my mobile device through a capture card, and it's whatever. It's not that bad to do. It's the same thing I would do for my PS4, just I can do it at the same time as another game. And that's what I generally do with the leveling. If you want to just level through big bursts, then using things like a Relic of All Knowledge or a Book of Training while doing your daily quests, your cycle quests, or when using a cycle quest key, those are going to be the more efficient ways to do it in short bursts, and where you'll get more noticeable immediate gains. When the World of Illusion keeps cycling around, there's also going to be decent EXP missions in those at the cost of stamina, and those are great also, so it takes a little bit of grinding, but there's nothing to stop you. Since there's no stamina system anywhere but the World of Illusion, you get out what you put in, and it's easy enough to get at least a core team up to level 50 with crystal strength 50 in order to go through the missions or the multiplayer, stuff like that. But anyway, I've got this question a lot, so I wanted to put out a quick video, a non-sponsored one, to display what I got going on here and what my progress has been like so far in Opera Omnia. But anyway, I am going to wrap up this video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for putting up with the sounds on the outside. And I'll see you in the next Opera Omnia video. There will be one more sponsored one on armor tokens and artifacts. It's weird to do them both in one video, but I think armor tokens at least can be explained quickly enough. And I'll probably do a video on the Balthier event, on the upcoming banners. If you're watching this and you're wondering about banners, I would not. If you're not pulling on the Vaughn banner right now to try and get a Platinum Sword for Vaughn, I'd probably avoid pulling altogether until the Ramsa banner, which I think you have until April. So just stock up those gems real quick. But anyway, thank you. I will see you all in the next one. And until then, take care.